What's up everyone, it's J-Kills. In this video, I'm going to be giving you some more builds for the Aether Strikers. But unfortunately, to complete one of the builds, I don't have the necessary cells. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into a trial real quick and see if I can't get the under 3-minute kill within the first or second attempt. Hopefully I can, and immediately after that, we'll get started on the builds and gameplay. I really dislike that behemoth and that little modifier, Cursed Lightning. Like, that sucks. But I did get fortunate enough to get the under 3-minute kill on the first attempt. I have enough skill marks to get the cells that I need, so let's go ahead and jump right into the builds. So the build's going to have +6 Etheric, Berserker, Conduit, Evasive, Molten, +3 Predator, and then +3 Sprinter. So yes, this is an attack speed build, and it is a very fun attack speed build. I came up with this build earlier today, and it took me like maybe 20 minutes to, piece it all together. And then once I done that, I went to go do just a test run, and I absolutely loved it. So I liked it so much that I spent the next 3 hours creating more. and I'll probably never do that again, because that like I was really getting mad because I couldn't get the build right. But this is going to be the first one. So we're going to be using Embermane's Rapture in this because of the 30% attack speed. Okay, Aetheric's going to help us get to our instant a little bit faster, as well as our hold. Berserker is going to increase our damage. Conduit is going to increase the attack speed by 25%. So with Aetheric constantly, filling up the lantern for the hold ability, Conduit's just going to keep going and going. Evasive Fury, you get another 25% attack speed when you dodge through an attack. Molten, more attack speed and movement speed. Predator, I had to go with just so I could get +6 Aetheric and +6 Conduit, because I would have had a +3 of one or something, and then another perk that I didn't really want. So I went ahead and stuck with +3 Predator. I mean, that's 14% damage. You can't go wrong with adding extra damage. And then we've got +3 Sprinter. This is only in to complement the attack speed. Your movement speed is going to be increased with this in, so it's just going to complement the attack speed. You're going to be attacking faster and moving faster. But if you don't like the idea of having +3 Predator, like say you're really good at not getting hit and you would rather have the +6, you can definitely do that. You can go, up here and take a Molten out and put a Predator in. If that's what you really want to do, then you could get +6 Predator and then +3 Molten. Or you could go through and take one of the Evasive Furies out, which I probably wouldn't, because that's 12% compared to 25. So just a little bit over half. So that pretty much covers this build. I need Peerless Arcstone really bad, so I'm going to do a Heroic plus Patrol. And I guess we'll just use this. So, well, let's go ahead. Oh, I'd already messed up. Yeah, I really like this build. Yeah, I really like this build. That's literally the only thing I can say. Let's go ahead and get on to the next one. Okay, so the 3 builds that I'm about to show you are all Half-Life builds. Pretty much just for one reason. Well, actually 2, maybe 3. But this one has +6 Aetheric, Discipline, Iceborne, Molten, Wild Frenzy, +3 Conditioning, and then +3 Conduit. So the Aetheric is going to help us use our lantern more. Discipline is only in here just to keep us under 50% health. Iceborne is in pretty much just because you're already under half health anyways, and with Iceborne, when you're under 50%, which you will be all the time thanks to Discipline, you get 30% decreased damage taken, and then you get an 8% lifesteal that, you know, heals you all the way back up to 50%, and you can't heal over it. So it complements what I'm going for really well. And then we've got plus 6 Molten, again for attack speed and movement speed. Wild Frenzy, when you're under 50% health, you get 25% attack speed. So there's the reason for the Discipline and pretty much the Iceborne as well. We're going to try to get Wild Frenzy in this, and so we can get 25 attack speed from being under 50%. And then we've got Conditioning. So in the run that I just done with the Ember main weapon, I noticed that there was a few times that I was completely out of stamina. So I did want to put plus 3 conditioning in just to make sure that I had stamina. And then we've got plus 3 conduit. I really wanted to get plus 6 conduit, but I couldn't, so 10% attack speed is better than nothing. It's the way you gotta look at it. So let's go ahead and take this one out and go do a behemoth. Okay, I done a heroic plus patrol for the Ember main weapon and got Shockjaw Nazaga. I do a heroic patrol and I get Shockjaw Nazaga. So it seems like Shockjaw has just become our test subject. I don't know if I want to use a Blitz tonic or a Stamina tonic. Like, I don't know if the attack speed is going to be enough to where even with the conditioning, I'm still going to have stamina issues. But for now, I'm going to leave the Blitz in. And, you know, if I do have stamina issues, I'll switch it out and see what it's like later. Okay, this is the first time I'm using anything Discipline. Oh. No, I didn't mean to hold that. I was trying to roll right there. Did I not? Not too bad, but I forgot to apply that debuff. Okay, so that wasn't too bad. Although I did make a mistake and I didn't put Karma Breaker up until pretty much the end of the fight. I really thought that I had already applied it, but I didn't. I didn't catch it until that far into the fight, so I mean, other than that, which was my mistake, it was fine. It's the first time I've used a half-life build, and I think it went pretty well for what it was. So let's go ahead and check out the next one. This one's going to have plus 6 Conduit, Discipline, Evasive Fury, Iceborne, Wild Frenzy, +3 conditioning, and then +3 molten. So there is no etheric attunement with this one. I really tried to get it, but I wanted this one to be different than the last one, so I left it out. You can use an Aether Drive Tonic, which, I mean, you should be anyways. The Aether Drive Tonic is at least going to help us. With +6 conduit, we get the 25 attack speed. I mean, the discipline, you'll already know. Evasive Fury, 25% when you dodge through. Iceborne, already know. Wild Frenzy, another 25. And then we've got +3 conditioning and then +3 molten. So the +3 molten is going to give you even more attack speed and movement speed. So I mean, what is this? 75% attack speed? Got 25 off the conduit, 25 off evasive, and then 25 off of Wild Frenzy. And that's not even counting the molten and the blitz tonic. You can rack up some really high speed hits with this one. So let's go ahead and do a behemoth. Okay, so hopefully this time I don't make any mistakes and not put something up or something. Oh, no. I held it. And I'm hit right there. Alright. So that one went a lot cleaner and faster. That was for sure. Okay, so that one was just a little bit faster than the first one, but if I wouldn't have made the mistake of not putting Karma Breaker up on the first one at the beginning, there might not have been that much of a difference between the two. At least that's how I feel. I don't know. I still feel like this one might have been a little faster anyways, but I really like this one. That was really fast. So let's go ahead and take a look at the last one. And for the last one, this one has +6 etheric, conduit, discipline, Iceborne, Wild Frenzy, conditioning, and then +3 evasive fury. So this one at least has +6 etheric and conduit, which is nice. It's still got the discipline and Iceborne. Wild Frenzy, conditioning. It only has a +3 evasive fury, so you're only going to get 12% attack speed right here. But I had to make a sacrifice somewhere in order to get etheric and conduit at +6. So I decided for this one that I would go ahead and make that +3. Let's go ahead and beat up Shockjaw one more time. Really? Oh. Oh, I tried to roll. Probably could have killed him faster, but I was getting hit from behind and I didn't want to take a chance. I mean, still 224. That's not horrible, I guess. I got the Rockstar die, guys. So that one wasn't too bad. I gotta say, I like all three of these. Like, they each have their own pros and cons to them. Yeah, all three of them share the same premise as, you know, they're the same weapon. They all three have discipline and Iceborne in it, but other than that, like, you know, there's variations to them that, you know, that makes each one have their own pros and cons. And, yeah, like, I'm actually really happy with myself that I was able to come up with something like this. It took me, I'm not even exaggerating, it took me like 3 hours of sitting there putting pieces together, trying to find out what I could do with what. I don't think I'll ever do something like that again. But I am glad that I done it because I really do enjoy these. There's only one issue that I have, and that's with Iceborne. Uh, I've never used Iceborne before, except for in the video I put out the other day where I used the axe. I think that had Iceborne in it, and that was the very first time I had ever used Iceborne. I don't like it. I think it's a crutch. If you get to where you get used to running with Iceborne, and then you have that taken away from you, you're not going to do too good. And with Iceborne in here, as long as you don't get hit like 5 times in a row, more than likely you're gonna survive. And with the effect of having life steal on it, you can get right back up to half health like really quick. So, I mean, you can make a mistake and just not be punished. Because I have noticed that Shockjaw Nezaga would hit me with something and it would barely do any damage. But on the Embermane build, I would get hit by that same thing and it would do, like, you know, almost half of my health. I mean, I didn't have to put Iceborne in. I could have left it at like +3. But, I mean, honestly, if you're going to put Iceborne in, you might as well go all the way. And, I mean, it's fine if you just want to... Like, this is good if you just want to go out and, you know, have fun. Pretty much. Like, if you've played the game since it was, you know, released or something, you just want to go out and attack non-stop. Like, there you go. These are the builds for you. So, with that being said, if you was to ask me which one of these three is my favorite one, I don't know if I could tell you. I like all three of them. Like I said, they each have their pros and cons. Okay, I've thought about it, and I think I've came up with one. Like I said, I like all three of them. If I didn't make the other two, and I was only able to make one somehow, I think this one would be the one. The one that has +6 conduit, discipline, evasive, Iceborne, Wild Frenzy, conditioning, and Molten. Because with this one, you're getting so much attack speed. You're getting it from the Lantern's tap ability, Conduit, the hold ability, Conduit, Evasive Fury, Wild Frenzy, and Molten, as well as the Blitz Tonic. Like, there's so much attack speed going on, and that +3 conditioning, if it wasn't for that, I don't think this would work. It keeps enough stamina coming back to where you don't have an issue like I did, you know, with the Ember main one, to where I didn't have any stamina. So with that build, I might actually have to use a stamina tonic. But with this one, I know as long as, you know, I know that since the conditioning's in there, I'm fine. But alright guys, I guess that's going to do it. I really hope you all enjoy the builds. And you all have a good day. Alright, see you.